What's up, guys? Stanley King here. I'm down in Guatemala. Guys from Revolution Bikes brought us out on a really cool ride, riding the Beta 300 RRs today. That's my new buddy Diego in the back there. He's on a 21. And, man, these guys at Revolution Bikes, they really hooked us up. He's on a 21, I'm on a 22, and that's Diego Bauer right there. He's one of the top riders here in Guatemala, and I believe he's one of the owners of the Beta dealership here in Guatemala City. Man, I'll tell you, they really took us out on a great ride just south of the city. That's me right there. Brought us through this ditch that was just unbelievable. Just kept going through this little creek bed. There's Diego again. So cool to be down here in Guatemala and be able to ride the locals' terrain. This is, again, it's, man, you know, when you see the local single track, you just feel so thankful that the guys show it to you. There's no way, not in a million years, I could ever find a single track. You know, now I could probably go hunt it out. I might be able to get to it, but it's just such a great day to be able to jump out and get on the tracks. And so this is kind of like a little bit of highlight here at the start of the video. I'm doing this because I know, based on analytics, that most people don't watch more than a minute and a half of the video. But if you're one of those guys who wants to see a really cool video, that's me there in front. Nuts, man. My arms are just burning. But if you want to watch all of the video, keep watching. You know, like I said, this is just the highlights right here. And I'll go through the whole thing because we started early. We got done about noon. Views are just spectacular. I'll tell you, if you don't know anything about Guatemala and you think you do, you don't. All right, this is the start of the ride. We were splitting traffic. Went right through the heavy traffic, and we met up with Diego here. That's Diego on the left, Diego on the right. So two Diegos. Normally I'm with a bunch of Johns or Roberts, but down here it's Diego's. So he brought us right out into a place called Frijones, and he got us out on this kind of two-track stuff, which is kind of fun. I could tell Diego was feeling me out, see what kind of rider I was. He didn't want to do anything too extreme or he'd screw me up. And right away, he dropped us down this little hill here and up this thing. And man, that Beta 300, so much torque. It was so cool. It was just, they've got this thing geared down to 1249 or something like that. I've never had a bike geared that low in my life. But man, what a lot of torque and power. And we'd hop out of these little tracks. I love these dogs that are everywhere. It's so funny. It just makes me laugh. They're always coming out trying to, nip at your heels. But the police don't even bother you at all. And everything's cool. It's just you get out in this countryside so quick. And this is so close to Guatemala City right here. This is probably 15 minutes out of the city. I should say 15 miles. It'd be 15 minutes if there was no traffic. Sometimes it's an hour and a half, but brought us right out in this coffee bean plantation area. Those are all coffee beans right there. And just, kept rolling us down off the hill. Guatemala City sits at about 5,000 feet, something like that. And we started at about 6,200 feet. And down here, we're probably getting down to around 3,500. I mean, we really came down a long ways. And this, man, we crossed the river, and I thought, this is so cool. It's just absolutely beautiful. I didn't know what the river is going to be like too. I've been through these before in Guatemala, and sometimes those rocks get you and throw you right on your butt. But beautiful. Kind of double track here, and again, he was just warming us up and getting us out to the single tracks, which was, that was kind of him. But Diego's, man, I've watched some videos of him racing, and he is a fast guy on a bike. He can definitely handle his machine, and he's raced at Romaniacs. And his other buddy who's there at the dealership with him, Sebastian, he brought me out a couple weeks ago up on the volcano. Such cool guys. They're just so friendly and so nice. If you need a bike in Guatemala City, look at that. It's like, whoop. At least I didn't get guillotined there. But if you need a bike in Guatemala City, these guys at Revolution Bikes, just good dudes. You know, just real friendly, really helpful. I've never had a Beta before. I'm usually on a KTM or a Husqvarna. And I've got to say, you know, like I said, he brought us down this ditch here, which was pretty cool. This went on for a good solid 20 minutes. And those rocks may look small from the GoPro angle, but they're anything but small. Those are like kind of the size of bowling balls, most of them. But anyway, these guys at Revolution Bikes, they just, you know, set you up with a great bike, excellent mechanics, super friendly. You know, they'll bend over backwards to take care of you. And it just, you know, kind of comparing to KTM, I just, like I said, I've never had a Beta. I guess I'm not crazy about the name is what it is, but that's about it. Other than that, it's a really nicely made Italian motorcycle that comes out of, I believe, the factory's in Florence, Italy. And I've seen other buddies get them, and I thought, whatever. But then I got the chance. I met these guys down here by chance. I was introduced to them by some other guys. And I'm so happy that I got that bike. It's just unbelievable. It's still carbureted, which most 300s now, you know, all the KTMs and Huskies are TPI. I think they just changed it this year to some other kind of fuel-injected system, but it's kind of cool to have a carburetor, and I'm really impressed by how well this bike handles. I mean, it just tractors through everything. It has a ton of torque. I thought maybe it wouldn't be as good as a KTM or Husqvarna, and I've got to say, and I've been watching the videos a little bit, but I've got to say it's a touch better than the KTM and Husqvarnas. It's a better built bike. It tracks better. It handles better. Everything about it's just a little bit better, and I never expected that because the KTMs and Husqvarnas are so good. So this is my second ride out on the bike. The first one I couldn't really notice it. This time I really did. I put loose bibs in the bike as well, and look at this guy. He knows this terrain. There's no doubt about it. But look at it. He's just ripping. He's got like world records or whatever. I guess these guys, what they do is they race down this wash, and they obviously know where all the rocks are. They had another section, and he goes, "Oh, I can do it in I don't know how many minutes it was." And I just thought, okay, whatever. Well, my heart rate won't let me do that, but this is just gorgeous. I'm a intermediate to expert rider, somewhere in there. And riding here in Guatemala is a special treat. Normally I'm riding up in Las Vegas. You'll see on my channel if you just, you know, stumbled into this video. If you look at my other videos, most of them are up in Las Vegas, and I do a lot of drone shots up there because obviously there's no trees in Las Vegas, so it's easy for the drone to track you. I don't know how my Skydio drone could track me through this here. It gets kind of jungly, you know. And this is the dry season, so there's still plenty of water in this little creek bed. Really a challenging ride. I just couldn't stop cutting this footage together. It was so cool. As I watched it, it just brought back all the memories of the ride. So much fun.
That's awesome. I like it.
Nice, right? Arm pumped?
Yeah, I really, really like this a lot. So riding down here in Guatemala, and, you know, people talk about Guatemala all the time too. They say it's violent, it's unsafe, it's this, it's that. I was amazed. We were down here in this ditch, and, you know, we ran into, the ditch is basically below all these coffee bean plantations. There's coffee bean plants all up on these hills. But we rolled up on, like right there, we rolled up on these guys, and there's this truck. I don't even know how he drove his truck up there. It's crazy. Look at that old Toyota. Unbelievable.
Nailed it.
Yeah, but the thing is, so the people, we were talking to them, and I thought, oh, they're going to get mad we're riding through the ditch or something. They were apologizing for having their truck in the ditch because we were going to have a hard time getting around it. I thought, that's crazy. They were saying, have a great day, see you guys later. And everywhere we went, the people are just so friendly and so nice. And it just goes back to, you got to be around people.
Okay, we're doing La Llorona.
La Llorona.
There we go.
Yeah, this is going up. They call this the Llorona Trail. Watch this, what happens to me here. It's crazy. Boop. I didn't see that ditch at all, and I just popped right into it. I had to deadlift the bike out of there. That was no fun, but that was a good start. Because this is one of their single tracks where they have the world record going up it. You're just hopping stuff, and there's a lava field up here, the rocks sticking out all over the place. It surprised me, and it was definitely a stout climb, but man, putting this beta in first and second gear, this thing just tractors. It's crazy how much traction I was getting with the moose bibs that put in it. Tires were just wrapping around everything, and I was just cruising up the hill. Just wild. But this is no joke because we were down low enough where the temperature, I don't know why I say it was like 80, 85, but it was probably 80 something, but the humidity's high. And, going up this, it's, you don't want to hold your breath. You're trying to breathe, but you're going over these big rocks. And I didn't know the trail. I'd never been there before. I mean, you look at that. It's like lava rocks sticking out of these fields. But definitely, you stay on the gas with this beta, and it just keeps moving forward. And I rarely got to the point where I got stuck. These guys say they can do this trail in 7 minutes. I don't know. It probably took me 20 minutes to do it or something. Again, I've never seen it. You got rocks sticking out. I'm used to not having any grass, any trees, anything except rocks and sand and cactus. So this was kind of a big deal for me. Look at the views too. It's just gorgeous. So part of the time I was like looking at the volcanoes and the beautiful scenery. I get to kind of take my eye off the ball, which was a little dumb, but that was just so cool just trucking through here. I've probably said this is so cool so many times. It's what I was saying in my head too. If you get a chance, look at that. Look at Diego. This guy just rips, man. I've seen his race footage, and this dude moves. And this is the other Diego. He was riding this so well. And then watch this. He just looks at me, and I don't know what he did. He like high centered or something. I felt kind of bad about this, but check this out right here. This is crazy. He's like, whoa.
Yeah. Oh shit.
Oh man.
That's enough to do enduro for
Is this Santa Rosa or?
Santa Rosa, yeah.
So Los Esclavos is right down there.
Exactly.
Oh wow. So we're right by Barbarena.
Uh-huh.
Wow.
Laguna del Pino is right behind that.
Oh, cool.
That was amazing. So I knew exactly which valley this was. We drive through there to get from Guatemala to El Salvador. And it's kind of a big roundabout. Most of the roads in Guatemala, it's like, if you took like a plate of spaghetti and kind of looked at it, that's kind of like what all the roads are. Nothing's a straight line. The distances are super short if you're in a helicopter or you're off-roading and doing something like this. But I was amazed how we were able to get from point A to point B cross-country. It just seemed so quick to me versus, look at this trail. This is just gnarly. And this bike just, I don't know, man. It just hops right through there. These are really cool bikes. Really cool ride we were on. But Guatemala's, the roads are interesting. I guess that's the best way to put it. But there's no straight line. Usually when you go 12 miles, it'll take over an hour because you have to drive like 40 miles to get 12, just because there's so many volcanoes and rivers and mountains. And luckily the scenery is beautiful most of the time. Sometimes when you're in the city, traffic gets stacked up pretty bad. you know, if Guatemala had some better roads, the economy would definitely flourish, but that's just my own personal opinion. But you get stuck in traffic in Guatemala a lot, which is kind of a bummer. So to get right outside of the city like this, it just reminds me so much of Las Vegas, where I live, because you get 5 minutes out of the city and all of a sudden you're in the country and you're riding some of the best single track on earth. And I understand why this guy was able to race Romaniacs, he and his buddy Sebastian, because this is prime training ground for, I mean, it's just world-class riding. It's no joke. Look at these boulder fields. I just kind of looked at that and I just thought, how am I going to thread through this and just keep moving forward? Everything seems to work out okay. Hey, so while I remember this, you know, if you like this kind of content, please subscribe to my channel. I try to do as many videos as possible. At least once a week, I like to put out a video. And the reason why I do it is one of my buddies, I kind of say this, or try to say this in each video or every couple videos. One of my buddies, he said to me a few years back, probably 5 years ago, he said, hey, can you put your videos up on YouTube and share them with everybody? And I thought, I don't know, because I really make these for myself so I don't forget my rides. And I just thought, you know what? Why not? I'll do it. So I started putting videos up on YouTube. I know this is kind of a, you know, if you're into enduro, you love this, but it's kind of a bizarre sport. There's a lot of guys in Guatemala who do this. There's a lot of guys in every city who do this, but it's a kind of dirt bike riding where you have to really love adventure and keep yourself in good shape. And I don't recommend this for a novice to just go out and try to hit these kind of trails, because it can be pretty dangerous. And I've definitely broken myself before, and I know most people have, but I try to ride safe and I try to not crash and have fun. Those are my goals on every ride. Here comes another dog. That was such a cool one. That was like another one there too. These dogs are like this. They're like mixes of everything. That one, to me, looked like a dachshund mixed with like a poodle mixed with something else. I don't know. But it's funny. It's like somebody dropped off a dog and, you know, it's like the dog's bred and you get all these crazy dogs. They call them Mayan Terriers down here, kind of street dogs. But, well, this is where we wrap up the ride and, you know, cruise back on the dirt roads. This is so cool.
Beautiful.
Hey, so
That's Pacaya, huh?
that is Pacaya.
Yep.
You see how I don't know if you noticed that, but there's like a valley and then like the hill keeps going up, and you know, we were rolling on those roads and you get up pretty high. Like I said, it's 6,200 like where we started, so it's nice and cool out. And coming back, Diego's like, you want more single track? I was like, absolutely. So he dropped us into this sucker right here, which I really appreciated. I just, you know, it's so nice to see the local single track. I hope to ride this again and again. And these guys have a huge grouping of racing all year round, it looks like. I looked at the calendar. I was like, man, I gotta
That's cool.
do this. This is cool. Yeah, he's just, you know, down these chutes and ladders, and you know, it's nice. These are my kind of guys, you know, my kind of ride. And I know if you like hard enduro, you're probably loving a lot of this video footage. I had a hard time cutting most of it out because it's so, I don't know, this is so novel for me to have this kind of green and lush and jungly kind of, you know, roads. These are all roads cut in to service the coffee bean plantations up here on the hills. But it's crazy. It's like you come out of these roads like this right here, and all of a sudden you see a house, and then all of a sudden you see another house, and all of a sudden you'll see a little store, and you're right back on the road again, and 5 minutes later you're pretty much right back in the city. So, you know, we peeled out off these roads, and I jumped on. This is basically the main highway. This is the one that goes all the way from Alaska down to Panama. So this Pan American Highway here. I don't really like riding on the road, but I had to get home somehow. It's crazy. But that's fun. So whatever. Jumped on the road. And anyway, thanks again, Diego. And thanks to the guys at Revolution Bikes. Thank you, Guatemala. It's just such a great time down here. If you have the chance to come and visit, you'll really love it. It doesn't matter if you just come to see the volcanoes or see the lakes or whatever. But I've been fortunate enough to be able to meet the right people, and now I'm in the hard enduro circuit, and I'm just so stoked to be able to do this and ride. So, all right, guys, well, we'll see you on the next one, and hopefully we'll see you out on the trail. If I see you on the trail here in Guatemala, that'd be cool too. And if you're one of the Guatemalan hard enduro guys, say hi to me. I'd love to ride with you. There's awesome people down here. All right, cool. Take it easy.